the 6th annual race will be Saturday, June 6th here at City Park. The race starts at 8:30 a.m. and it's a 5K run and a 1-mile run walk. And we have a lot going on that day in addition to the run. We have a family fun zone because we have a lot of kids, and we have a furry friend option, so bring your dogs out and they'll get some special goodies. And just a lot going on, a lot of great vendors, and just a wonderful celebration of our survivors and the people that we've lost as well. The race was named after Jodi Brandmeier, who was a Colorado native. She was diagnosed with ovarian cancer when she was only 41. She was completely blindsided by her diagnosis and wanted to do something to raise awareness. And she felt like a 5K run was a really good way to reach the greatest number of people. So she pulled me in to help her out, and the first race was in 2010. And Jodi was so determined. She was married with a daughter, full-time job, and fighting ovarian cancer, but she was still determined to get this race off the ground and let people know that there are symptoms of ovarian cancer, and if you're aware of them and you go see your doctor early on, that there's hope. And so the first race, she was here. It was amazing. It was just such a wonderful celebration. We had over 1,000 people, and sadly we lost Jodi a couple of months later, but it's just so great that her legacy lives on, and the race has now grown to over 3,000 people. And again, it's just such a wonderful celebration of her and all of the people that are affected by ovarian cancer. Jodi was determined she was going to have at least 1,000 people the first year, and everybody said, Jodi, there's a lot going on in Denver. There are a lot of races. Just understand that if you only have a few hundred, that's okay. The race will grow over time. And she just was determined. There are going to be 1,000 people, and I just know it. And we had, the official count was, I believe, 1,746. So she even blew away her own goal, and it has just continued to grow, and we expect to have well over 3,000 people this year. Nana Zeligman was on the Colorado Ovarian Cancer Alliance, or COCA, board, and so she was there when Jodi first came to COCA with this idea to do the 5K run. And Nana was very excited about it. At the time, she was, I believe, a 5-year survivor, and she wanted to do something to create awareness, because they call it the silent killer, but it's not really silent. There are symptoms, and that's what Jodi wanted to convey, and that's what Nana was also excited about, letting people know that there are symptoms like bloating or feeling full quickly and not being able to eat much, feeling pelvic or abdominal pain or discomfort, and also frequent or urgent need to urinate. So there are symptoms out there, and if you have them and you go see your doctor, there are things that they can do to discover it and start treatment right away. So that's really what the whole race kind of started on, was based on that whole awareness piece. Let's let people know about this and be proactive about your health, and see a doctor if you have these symptoms, because they are very vague. They can easily be misdiagnosed. But the survival rate for women who are diagnosed stage 1 or 2 is over 90%. But unfortunately, only about a quarter of the women are diagnosed early on. So Nana has been here every year, except she won't be here this year. We lost her in September, but she was just, tenacious. She was a fighter. She had a team out here every year. She has a daughter who's an avid runner, and I know Katina will be here, and I know Nana will be here in spirit. She'll be up there with Jodi cheering us on. But that's the sad thing about this disease. Unfortunately, we lose a lot of amazing women. But the great thing about the race is it's really not a sad day. It's a day to celebrate, and that's what makes it just, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of excitement, and a coming together of people that have just, had to deal with this, horrible, horrible disease. There is no accurate screening test, so that's why people need to know the Pap smear does not detect ovarian cancer. That's for cervical cancer. So if you feel like you're safe because you just had your Pap smear, that's really not going to help you. You need to have a pelvic exam. You hear about the CA-125 blood test, which by itself is not terribly accurate. You could break your arm and your CA-125 would go up. So it's kind of a combination of knowing your body, talking to your doctor if there are any changes that last more than a couple weeks. If you wake up one day and you feel kind of bloated, don't panic. It's probably just as a monthly thing, but it is diagnosed a lot because those symptoms are vague, and sometimes they think it's a GI problem or menopause or whatever. So it's just key to be proactive about your health. Go in. If you feel like something's wrong, get that pelvic exam, get that CA 125, and they can do a transvaginal ultrasound, and then they can tell whether they need to take the next step. So there are things that can be done. And if you feel like something's wrong, it's just critical to see your doctor and be your own best advocate. Well, we had actually the first year, Jodi's daughter's teacher came, and she brought her mom along to support Jodi and Megan in the race. And we have symptom signs on the course, and they have the 4 main symptoms. There are others, but the 4 main symptoms. And she saw those symptom signs, and a couple of months later she actually started having some, and she thought, well, maybe I'm just paranoid, but I can't get those signs out of my head, and I'm going to go see my doctor. And sure enough, she actually had ovarian cancer, which was, crazy, but she did, and she was diagnosed, and she lasted 4 years. Unfortunately, we just lost her. It's been kind of a tough year, but because she lasted 4 years, she got to meet her grandchildren. Her daughter, Lindsay, had 2 sweet little twin daughters, and she got to spend 2 years with them. So while, it's still a sad ending, there's just, we take what we can get, and, 2 years can make a huge difference. And it's just critical. Hopefully we'll reach more women even earlier, and it won't be another 2 years or another 4 years. It will be a lifetime. What we do for survivors is we have a wonderful survivor breakfast to honor them, and they get a strand of beads for every year that they're a survivor. So it's really great, because if you have only 1 strand but you see someone with 20 strands, then it gives you hope. Or if you have 5 and you see someone else with 5, you can kind of, chat about that. So we've done that since almost the very beginning, and it's just a wonderful way for the survivors to start up a conversation. And we always try to do something new and different, not just for survivors but for all of our participants. So this year all of our finishers will get a little teal egg, like a plastic break apart egg, like an Easter egg, and each one will have an awareness message in it, but it will also have a prize. So they could get something as small as like a little piece of jewelry that fits in the egg, or they could get movie tickets or dinner on the town or a night at the Sheraton or whatever. So it's really kind of a fun new twist, and we're always trying to add something fun for our participants. So go to jodisrace.org and you can register, you can sign up to volunteer, you can donate, you can set up a team. It's not too late. So just come out and enjoy the day.